The development of unmanned aircraft systems intended to operate alongside manned fighter jets is one of the most transformative shifts underway in modern naval aviation. This shift is not solely about replacing pilots with machines, but about enhancing mission effectiveness, survivability, and adaptability in future combat scenarios. The concept involves unmanned aircraft acting as teammates, not just tools, supporting manned fighters by executing complementary tasks. These could include jamming enemy radar, performing early reconnaissance, extending sensor range, or even carrying out strikes in high-risk zones, keeping human pilots out of the most dangerous situations. This shift is being approached with caution. Even though the underlying technology for many aspects of unmanned flight exists, the ability to integrate these machines into the complex, high-pressure environment of naval air operations is still evolving. Carrier-based flight operations are uniquely demanding, launching, landing, coordinating with multiple aircraft in constrained airspace, and executing tactical missions in real time. These are not static challenges that can be easily replicated in test environments. For unmanned systems to participate in this environment, they must meet a high bar of reliability, responsiveness, and situational awareness. A major concern is pilot trust. Navy pilots are trained to rely on their team, their equipment, and the behavior of aircraft around them. Introducing unmanned systems into this mix means those machines must behave predictably and consistently, even when the environment is chaotic. This isn't just about staying on course or avoiding collisions, it's about reacting to dynamic mission requirements, threats, and communications. The unmanned aircraft must be able to keep up with formation changes, adapt to shifts in mission priorities, and understand signals and cues from human pilots or control systems. That level of machine autonomy is not trivial. Autonomy here does not mean total independence from human control, but rather a range of decision-making capabilities that allow the system to perform useful actions without needing step-by-step guidance. The idea is that the human pilot, rather than micromanaging the drone, can assign it a role or objective, for example, suppress air defenses or extend radar coverage, and trust that the system will carry out that role with minimal intervention. The more effective the autonomy, the more the pilot can focus on broader mission tasks rather than managing the drone itself. However, autonomy introduces its own set of challenges. Machines interpreting complex battlefield environments need advanced perception systems, logic that prioritizes tasks correctly, and safeguards to prevent erratic or unsafe behavior. These systems must be robust against deception, misinterpretation, and sudden technical issues. In air combat, milliseconds matter. A system that hesitates or makes a wrong call could jeopardize the entire formation or mission. At the same time, the Navy is expanding its experimentation with unmanned surface vessels. These sea-based systems are designed to take on a variety of tasks, from logistics resupply and surveillance to potentially serving as mobile sensors or weapons platforms. Some of these vessels are designed to be fully autonomous, with the ability to navigate across oceans and operate without direct human oversight for long periods. Others are semi-autonomous and rely more heavily on human command. Several incidents have shown that these systems are still far from ready for routine deployment. Propulsion failures, loss of navigation control, and unexpected behaviors have all occurred. In some cases, vessels that were expected to follow pre-defined routes or behave according to programmed logic ended up drifting, colliding, or operating in ways that created safety risks. These problems are not just technical glitches. They reflect the complexity of real-world operations where environmental variables, signal interference, or software misinterpretation can quickly lead to unexpected outcomes. One high-profile incident involved a support ship reportedly being capsized while attempting to manage or recover a drone vessel that behaved unpredictably. The underlying problem appeared to be a mismatch between the drone's behavior and the expectations of its human monitors, another example of how trust and predictability are critical when humans and machines operate together. As the Navy continues to invest in both aerial and maritime unmanned systems, the focus is shifting from individual performance to integration. It is no longer enough for a drone to work in isolation, it must function as part of a network, receiving data, sharing information, coordinating actions, and reacting in sync with manned assets. This requires advances not just in hardware, but in communication protocols, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and operational doctrine. There is also a long-term question of how these systems will affect force structure and tactics. If unmanned systems become reliable enough to replace certain aircraft roles or missions, the composition of carrier air wings may shift significantly. Missions that were once considered too dangerous or too costly in terms of human risk might become more feasible. Conversely, maintaining unmanned systems may introduce new logistics and maintenance challenges, especially for complex, sensor-rich aircraft operating in high-threat environments. This technological evolution is being pursued with a recognition of its long timeline. No one in leadership expects a sudden switch where manned systems are abruptly replaced. Instead, the transition is expected to unfold over years, or even decades, as unmanned systems prove themselves in live missions, pilots gain confidence in their behavior, and doctrine evolves to accommodate their strengths and limitations. The development of these systems is ultimately about enhancing operational capability in contested environments. As threats evolve and adversaries improve their ability to detect, jam, or target traditional systems, having a mix of manned and unmanned assets offers strategic flexibility. Unmanned systems can act as sensors, decoys, scouts, or strike platforms, extending the reach and survivability of manned aircraft. They can absorb risk, explore contested spaces, and operate where crewed aircraft might not be able to go. In the coming years, the Navy is likely to increase real-world trials, send unmanned aircraft on more complex missions, and test new approaches for command and control. These steps are necessary to build the trust, doctrine, and technical understanding that will support full integration in the future. While current progress is steady, the path forward is being shaped by caution, realism, and the clear understanding that trust in autonomous systems cannot be assumed, it must be earned through performance, under pressure, in the real world.